Okay, so right now we're gonna start drawing the actual like face model. So we're gonna take our sketches that we did of our person. So as you can see here, we have our defining features. Then we have kind of our more like sketchy interpretations, just trying to really nail down like what points are really just like identifiable on their face. Okay, so for this I'm just gonna draw a straight line just so I can like kind of gauge the face symmetry. Shadow or jawline. This isn't perfect because faces aren't perfect. And this is just a kind of rough sketch. We did the nose a little bit below the middle. The mouth line is closer to the nose than it is to the chin. Like basically halfway between the nose and the chin is where you put the bottom line, and then you can build the lips up from there. Eyes go around the middle. And then eyebrows above. And so right now it's looking kind of ugly, but that's okay. We'll refine the shape and everything later. Okay, so right now I'm using my reference pics, so both of these, and trying to like come up with a good mix of them. So of course I'm gonna use her long face, her really defined cheekbones, to just really define the person that we're doing. That's the face. We do the neck around the middle of the eyes. The nose. Some people don't like drawing the nose like as defined. I kind of do, so that's just what I'm doing. Sure, it has kind of like an upturned lip. So that's what we're doing at the ends. Remember the very corner of your lips are like slightly darker, so we want to emphasize that. Just thinner lips. So not much. And for her eyes, I want to keep them about one distance apart. And then the distance from here to here is around halfway, a little less than halfway. It's really a preference. And then take down the general shape. So it goes up, flattens, kind of like that. And it's not a downturn eye, so there's going to be a little lift. Okay. Then we can do her eyelid. Some people have really defined eyelids, some don't. And I find that the eyelid is really like key to defining the person. So if they do have it, make sure it's like really prominent. And if they don't focus on it. Eyebrows. Typically you want to go from the eyeball, which will be here. And you want to go from the tip and just kind of draw a diagonal line and see, okay, this is where the arch is going to land. Same here. Okay. Then we have the face, and then we can do the forehead. It's typically from the eyebrow to the nose. So. And then just look at the kind of hairline that the person has, or your model has, to really help you figure out that shape. Then you just want to define like what kind of hairstyle she's going to have. So I'm just doing the iconic, middle part of the ears too. Well, sometimes you want ears, sometimes you don't. So it's really a preference, what look you're going for. Okay. Remember, the hair has volume, so always want to do volume. Once you kind of refine the shape and then see that it's really kind of close to what you're trying to go for, then you can just take your kneaded eraser. Okay, now we're gonna go in with our skin tone. Remember, I'm using barley beige. I find that's a really good shade for kind of light to medium tone people. So we're just gonna outline the whole thing first, and then we're gonna go in. So forehead, eye, over outlining, making sure that we don't hit the eyes. So of course, just outline them, and then fill in the rest. And you can go over the nose and the lips too, because if it's looking a bit streaky, you can always just go over it. But doing the strokes in opposite direction. And then don't forget to do the neck too. And then you would also color in the ears if you have. And then I'll just do an ear just so you can see. It's basically the same thing. You go from around the top of the eyebrow to the bottom of the nose. Okay, after it's dried down, we go back again with our skin tone. And then after looking at pictures, we kind of see where the shadows would naturally be. So as you can see, the shadows would be right in the inner corner of the eye, the outer corner, kind of the side of the nose, the bottom of the nose, under the lip, and at the cheekbones. So again, this is a more dramatic lighting, but you can still see it's the inner eye, outer eye, cheekbones, the nose, and under the lip. And then of course the under neck. So taking the same marker that you colored it all in, we're just gonna do some light impressions of where these shadows are gonna go. Because we're gonna take our color pencil and make them more dynamic and vibrant. But right now we just wanna establish where they are. And hopefully it will look better on yours than on mine, because I think I'm using the wrong side of the marker paper. So it's looking a bit rough. That's okay. And I like to do the shadow like coming from one side specifically. So imagine the sun is over here and it's hitting her face like this. So the shadow would be hitting her neck like this. Yep, just keep going. Deepening the shadows. You can also kind of deepen the lip color. But we won't be going over that with pencil anyway, so might as well. And then sometimes you can go kind of like the side of the forehead. Imagine this as like a bronzer. Okay, once you have that down, then you can take your black pencil and just mark in where you put the original pencil lines, but just cleaner and defined. So there's two at the nose right here. Then it's the lips. And then she kind of has like a little smile, so we want to make sure to capture that. And then we go to her eyes. This is why we kept them white, so hopefully we can fill it in with color later. You can also go lighter and darker with the eyeliner, but since I'm kind of doing a little bit more of a dramatic look today, we're gonna keep it in there. And it's also just for clarity. And then eyelid. And then you can go on your pencil first if you're a little bit nervous at the eyebrow. And just kind of mark in where the eyebrow would be. And once you like the shape of it, go in with your kneaded eraser. With your kneaded eraser, and then erase it a little bit and then remark where the eyebrow will be. So we're just kind of defining that shape little by little. Okay. And then we do the little shadow of the lips. And then just a little for the cupid bow. And then, since I accidentally took over most of my lip, I need to put more shadow underneath. Also, you can outline the face during this step. So, and then typically when you're outlining, you want to leave like a little white edge to the drawing. Just so it just looks more sketchy and cleaner. But it's okay if you forget to or go over the light. We'll fix it up later. The neck, ear, and then hair. And don't forget also to do her neck. I mean, sorry, not her neck, her scalp right here, if you're doing like a side part or something. And now I'm just taking a really like light color, like a yellowish, skinish color, just coloring the eyes a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna take, I'm using peach color. This is kind of like the skin tone color, maybe a little darker. We're just gonna blend in some of those edges, so in the inner corner of the eye, just so it's not as harsh of a line. The nose, and try not to like get too much of the black, because then that sort of thing happens. And cheekbones. And you see it just gives the face kind of like a softer look to it. And it helps those shadows like blend better to the whole face. And then we kind of want to do a shadow above the eyelid because that's concave in the face. So, and then just gonna fix it up a little above the forehead, kind of blending the bronzer in, you know. Then what we're gonna do is take a slightly deeper brown. I'm using sienna brown. Then go in wherever you want like more darker shadow. So I'm thinking of doing kind of like a smoky eye look. So I'm gonna go into the inner corner of the eye, loosening up my pressure as I go out. So the further I get away from the corner, I do it less harshly, kind of blending it into the under eye. So I go really dark in the corner and then lighten up as I go out. And of course you can do this with like any color. I'm just using brown to show you. Accentuate that look. See how it already gives it like a glimmer? You can also do the inner part of the eye. It also adds just more dimension to the face, more color. Under the nose. Under the lips. And then around the cheekbones. And then of course under the head, right at the neck. See? And then you can do a little bit at the side of the forehead too. Just a little bit, you don't want to make it really dark. Okay, and then a little bit at the top lip too, because top lips are always darker than the bottom lip. And then we take our blush color. I'm using blush pink. And I'm just going a little bit on, I like to do it around here, this area, just because I find it to be like the prettiest place to put it. For other people with other face shapes, you might want to put it over here, more up here. It depends just really on the makeup look you're going for. But I find that like in this area, just really makes the face look prettier. And it kind of gives it more life. So it's not just like full glamour, it's like actually a face. You can also like bring some of it into the inner eye here too. So on the lips. And if we were doing kind of like a natural look, then honestly we could end it here. You also want to add the hair around this stage, just so you can see how dramatic it is at the moment. So I'm just going up flat. My black's kind of dying, so. And now that I've colored in the hair, I can see like, okay, it's looking good, looking basically like her. Just want to emphasize the eyebrows a little bit more. Typically, you want the end of the eyebrow to be darker. Then emphasize the eyeliner. I typically only like darken the top part of the lid, or the eye, not the bottom. Because that's just how I like it. Of course, you can do it any way that you want. It's just the way that I have been doing it. And since I want to go slightly more glam, gonna with a light touch using the black and blending out into the corner, like how we did with the brown before. And then boom, more glamour. Oh, sorry. And then you want to take a slightly rosier red, so I'm using carmine red, and just go over the lips slightly. Unless you're doing a really dramatic like lip color in makeup, this part doesn't need to be too pink or red. And you want to kind of shadow this under part here at the lip. Gives it a really beautiful shine. And if you're doing sort of a lip gloss look, you take your white gel pen, kind of do like, you know, like the motion of a heartbeat monitor, we'll go like, that's what we're doing on the lip right now. So we do the squiggle and then some dots. And then we go above here, like right along this ridge, and highlight that specifically. Because then it really shows that the gloss is glossing. And typically this can only really be done if you have like a close-up of the face, but I like to take a slightly darker gray and again go into the inner corner of the eyeball just to really sort of emphasize that this is like a real person and not just like a fake. You also take your white gel pen, do a little dot on the nose, use more on the lips. And then if you're doing a glitter look, you can also just dot it around the eyes. And it helps to kind of convey that this is glitter. And of course you can do some highlights, glitter highlight. Okay. And then we're finally going to go in with the pupils. Typically, you don't want them to be like looking straight at you. You kind of want to make her a little cross-eyed. And make sure that it's never like a full circle inside. So don't make it like, because then that just looks really scary. You want to make it slightly bigger. So the top and bottom part are covered slightly so it doesn't make a full circle. You just want to make her just the tiniest bit cross-eyed. Just so she looks like she's really looking at you. And then you can go in strongest like darkness at the top of the eye and then lighten up as you go down. So it makes like a little gradient and then you get the natural eye shines in there. Then the dark pupil. Smaller circle, of course. And then you can just go in and refine the shape a little bit. And if you want another eye shine, just take your gel pen and then just put it right here on the top corner. And that really brings your drawing to life. Finally, you just want to look at it, you know, see if there's anything you want to fix. Like right now, I want to give her some lashes that she's really known for. So I'm going to take my black pencil. And you can make them pretty dramatic and big, because remember, although this is a real person, this is like a dramatic version of them, so. And lower lashes too. And it also adds more body. And then, I don't know if you can see in my reference picture, but she kind of has like the slightest of eye bags. And so I want to recreate that, just so you know it's more accurate to who the person is. So I'm taking the color that's slightly darker than the skin tone, my peach. Just going in there, little by little. We don't want to make it too dramatic here, but we just want to add it so it looks more like the person that we're trying to be. And then we just fix up the eyebrows a little bit. It needs to be slightly slanted. And then we can extend the lips a little bit. Also just now going in with a slightly darker brown, because as I'm looking at it with the whole hair and everything, I think it needs to be a little bit more dramatic with the shadows. So I'm going in specifically on one side, because remember the sun is coming from this way, so we want to focus on this side of the face to really show, one, that we know where our shadows are, and two, that we have studied light and know how it affects the face. Just take your time, no rush. Boom. Make a little mistake, you can always take your kneaded eraser. With a little heavy hand, just go over it. And just try to hopefully buff out. Just be really careful.